Hey everyone, I had a very good question in the community and I wanted to address it with a video because I think it's very relevant and many people might be in such kind of situations. So let me just first read it up to you and then we're gonna discuss it with a specific example. So the question is pretty much, during the time where we have so much fake outs, I'm interested in a more mechanical methods to take breakout trades and to minimize my time constantly tracking the price. I think this market is definitely really tricky when it comes to breakouts. Usually breakouts are like the most reliable setup, at least in my experience. And it's my favorite setup to trade because it's so straightforward. However, in a bear trend, fake outs are all the way. And what is a fake out? Pretty much a breakout that doesn't happen. It just runs up. You enter the trade because you see the trigger. And then within several days, it just fakes on you and breaks down below the initial level that you entered. This, of course, shouldn't discourage you for taking completely no trades. This is not the goal of this video. It's actually to show you how we can protect ourselves and how we can do this while we are not so focused on the markets, because people tend to get distracted in a bear trend and we're not all day long on the chart. You might be traveling, now it's summer, and there are 100 other different reasons for you not being glued to the monitor. So I want to walk you through my process and what I think is very helpful to do in such kind of situations, and actually not only in bear trends but also in bull markets. So let's go over a specific trade setup that I took and also how I managed it and what is my general process overall. Let me just use the replay tool. So if we go back somewhere around here, and we're going to use ApeCoin as a trade setup because we recently took this one. And I think it was quite a good example for this case. So if you go to the replay tool and I just click somewhere around here, this is what I was seeing. And let me just clean. You can see that here around $5.50, Ape was kind of banging on the door. We were trying to break out this level. There are several reactions. So there was one here when we capitulated, and then we had higher lows all the way through here. And again, we were retesting this level a little bit later when we play it. So on this day specifically, we had a nice breakout, and if you go to the 1 hour chart, you'll see that there was plenty of volume when this breakout was happening, which kind of gave me the confirmation to take this breakout. And also the best part about it was that we could manage risk somewhere around here, around 20%, which in my opinion is not a terrible risk to reward for a bear market, because potentially we could have made like 50 or 60% here in the best case scenario. So the first thing here that you can do when you're expecting a breakout to happen, and if you don't want to sit manually and just watch the chart, because I think that's not sustainable, is to set an alert. You can do this here, of course, on TradingView. There are many other platforms. I don't find TradingView alerts so reliable, so I personally use a Blockfolio app, which is actually part of FTX right now, and it's on my phone, and constantly I get notifications when a specific coin hits my targets, or if there's a major move on the market. So percentage wise, let's say if Ape jumps like 5 or 10% within an hour, I will be notified about this. So this is the first way that you can automatically receive notifications when it's time for a breakout trade, because I'm not a huge fan of taking automatic with an order, with a buy limit order trades, because as you can see actually very well right here, it was the first reaction, but right away we were breaking above this level, and as you can see we faked out right after that. So whenever we are trading in this kind of environment, I want to be notified. I want to know what's going to happen, but I don't want to have an order on the exchange that if this happens gets triggered, and then of course I'm in the red down right away. So that's why I use notifications, and when I jump on the computer or on the phone and I have time and I can look at the chart, look at the setup, look what Bitcoin is doing, all the factors when you have to take a breakout trade, then I can manually decide if I want to enter this trade. So the next thing that happened here is that it started running above this breakout level, and actually we retested it here very good, which I think it's generally quite often we see this, especially in the bear market. We see retests to confirm this breakout level, this support level around $5.50, and it continued on its way upwards. So the first thing I did after I took the breakout trade, right away I set limit sell orders. So I automated my profit taking because this could again be very volatile, and I want to have shorter targets in the bear market for breakout trades. So from here I set my first order to around 20%, around $6.50, and the next one was around 30%, so somewhere around here around $7.2. So this is another way that I'm automating my trades, especially when it comes in the bear market. And as you can see here, what happened next on ApeCoin, we hit some resistance around $7.50, and for several days it was trying to break out above this level, but it wasn't. And we had a lot of wicks to the upside. And what happened next is that we broke above it, but after that momentum slowly kind of died out, and as you can see we started trending downwards. We had this, I can engage my drawings now, we had this potentially a bull flag that was forming but actually broke down, and this could have been another opportunity for me to take the last bit of profit right here, but I decided to be a little bit more patient because we also had the 100-day moving average, and still Bitcoin wasn't showing relative weakness to the overall market. So for this period of time I was again manually monitoring price action, but if you want to be a little bit more risk averse, you can just set a sell limit order somewhere around this level if it breaks below the 100-day moving average, or if you decide that this level here, if it breaks below this bull flag, you can also set this somewhere around here. Or what I did is manually I took exit when we see that there was starting a sell-off in the crypto market, and I was actually sleeping here, but when I woke up and when I saw this, I took a graceful exit on the remainder of the position right here. But again, for me this was a manual trade. If you want, you can of course set your sell limit right here, or if it's an early stage, you know, somewhere around here, maybe you can set automatic sell limit order here. But I personally don't like to do this because I'm a little bit more engaged on the markets. I personally don't want to have such orders sitting, because quite often in crypto we have these big wicks that just touch the level and then reverse back in my face. So that's why I don't rely so much on automatic sell or buy orders. However, if you still want to have automated orders on your exchange, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. So the first one is right here. When you enter the trade, when you're entering it, you can set it with a stop loss order. So in the interface of your exchange, you need to check this, but you can set an exchange order where it says, okay, enter at this price, but if we go below a certain level, just sell my position at a price that I'm okay with selling. The second way, and I think the more flexible way to do this, is first of all to be a little bit more patient and let price do its thing, and then set a separate sell limit order for the level that you're okay. So for example, in this case, you could do this again a couple of different ways. The trade started working in your favor, so if you don't want to lose any money, you can move and set a limit sell order here at break even, which would have been triggered somewhere around here, and that's why I don't like these type of orders. Or again, you could have set it somewhere around here, but together with it, you know, just sell a sell limit somewhere around here, so you lock some profit and you're more flexible. Even if price reverses back here, this means you won't lose like 20%, you will lose like 10% because you already took some profit up here. So this is the walkthrough. I know it's not exactly completely automated, but I'm okay with this. I think this is probably the better way if you're monitoring and managing your trades by your own and not just relying on sell orders, because as I mentioned, we're very volatile in crypto. I think already everyone knows this, and sometimes it could trick you, you know, and even in this chart you could see that there are several instances where you could have been triggered either to enter a fake out breakout or potentially to exit early if you had automated orders in place. So just be aware of this, and of course if you have any questions, you know where to find me.